You ever walk out of a business and think, wow, that just felt good? Nothing huge happened, no confetti, no over the top moment. It was just easy, smooth, warm, human. You left feeling like this business saw you, understood you, and cared about what you needed. That feeling didn't happen by accident. That was client experience. And that feeling is exactly what people remember. Not the price, not the small details, not even the product itself. They remember how they felt when they were with you. Today we're talking about how to create that feeling on purpose. Not by adding a bunch of complicated steps, not by trying to wow people with big moments, just by being intentional at every step of the process and remembering that your client is a human being first and a client second. Client experience is the foundation of loyalty. It's what makes people come back year after year. It's what makes them refer you without being asked. It's what turns someone from a one-time buyer into a long-term supporter of your business. And here's the best part. You don't need a fancy studio, expensive props, or a team of assistants to create that kind of experience. You can build it with clarity, consistency, and warmth. You can build it with the way you communicate, the way you prepare them, the way you guide them, the way you show up when they walk through your door, the way you say goodbye after the session is over. Client experience is every tiny moment, and most photographers don't even realize how powerful those tiny moments are. When I think back to the beginning of my career, I didn't understand that. I thought people were hiring me for my camera skills. I thought they were choosing me because of lighting or posing or editing. And yes, those things mattered, but they weren't the reason people stayed. People stayed because they felt taken care of. They stayed because I made things simple. They stayed because they never had to guess what would happen next. That's the part most photographers miss. The part that truly builds loyalty. The part that creates long-term success. You want your clients to feel safe with you. Emotionally safe, physically safe, creatively safe, safe to be themselves, safe to ask questions, safe to have a messy toddler or a shy teenager or a newborn who is cluster feeding or a dog who won't sit still. Safety creates trust. Trust creates loyalty. So today, I want to walk you through how to create that kind of experience, the kind that makes people say, we're never going to anyone else again. And I'm going to show you how to do it in a way that feels natural, calm, and totally doable in your business right now. Let's start with something simple. People cannot have a good experience if they're confused. Confusion is the enemy of loyalty. Think about it. If a client is unsure what to wear, their stress goes up. If a client doesn't know where to park, their stress goes up. If they don't know how long the session will take, stress goes up. If they don't know what happens after the session, stress goes up. Every moment of uncertainty builds more pressure. And when people feel stressed, they don't feel connected. They don't feel taken care of. They don't feel relaxed enough to enjoy the process. Your job is to remove confusion before it starts. That is one of the most powerful forms of client experience. That's why I love things like prep guides, welcome emails, simple checklists, and automated reminders. Not because they are fancy, not because they look impressive, but because they give people clarity. And clarity feels like care. Clarity tells your client, I've got you, you don't need to guess. And when someone feels that, they relax, they trust you, they settle in. When someone feels calm, they have a better session. And when they have a better session, they remember you more warmly. That emotional memory becomes associated with your studio. And emotional memory is what makes people loyal. But clarity alone isn't enough. Because client experience is also about tone, warmth, presence, reassurance. The way you speak to people matters. The speed you speak at, the softness in your voice, the patience you show, the empathy you give. The energy you bring into the room affects the energy they bring into the session. If you are calm, they feel calm. If you're confident, they feel safe. If you're warm, they open up. If you're rushing, they tense up. If you're distracted, they feel unimportant. Client experience is emotional more than it is logistical. People don't remember everything you say, but they always remember how your presence made them feel. I once had a client tell me, I hire you because being around you feels like a deep breath. And that moment taught me everything about loyalty. Loyalty doesn't come from perfect photos. Loyalty comes from emotional ease. Loyalty comes from feeling seen. Loyalty comes from not having to pretend around you. That is the experience you want to build. one where clients feel seen, safe, and understood. Now, here's another piece most photographers overlook. Client experience begins long before the session. It begins the second they inquire, and it continues long after the photos are delivered. Most photographers treat client experience like a session day thing, but the truth is the session is only one chapter. The real loyalty comes from the entire journey. During inquiry, your job is clarity and reassurance. During booking, your job is confidence and organization. During prep, your job is warmth and guidance. During the session, your job is presence and calm leadership. After the session, your job is communication and care. When every chapter is handled with intention, the whole story feels seamless. And when a story feels seamless, clients fall in love with you. This is why client experience is the most powerful marketing you will ever do. Not ads, not reels, not social media. Client experience builds a business that grows naturally, steadily, and sustainably. Because happy clients bring their friends, happy clients come back. Happy clients tell everyone they know. Client experience is your long game strategy, and it's the one thing that can never be copied. People can copy your poses, they can copy your lighting, they can copy your color palette, but they cannot copy the way you make people feel. That is your unique advantage. And that is what we're building here. Client experience becomes unforgettable when you start paying attention to the small things. The tiny details that most photographers overlook because they're too busy worrying about the big moments. But the truth is, clients remember the small things more than the big ones. They remember being greeted warmly. They remember not feeling rushed. They remember you noticing that their toddler needed a minute. They remember you adjusting the temperature for their newborn. They remember the way you explained something without making them feel silly. Those tiny moments add up. They stack in your favor. They form the emotional memory that keeps clients coming back. Most people don't sit in their car afterwards saying, "Wow, those backdrops were amazing." They say, "She made that so easy," or "I didn't feel judged once," or "That was actually fun." This is the secret to loyalty. People come back to the experience. The photos are the bonus. So let's talk about what those memorable experiences actually look like in real life. Not the Pinterest version. Not the "I need to do everything" version. The real version. The version that fits into a busy photography business where you're juggling clients, editing, marketing, and a life outside all of that. One of the biggest pillars of client experience is communication. Clear, warm, predictable communication. Clients should never feel like they're chasing you for answers. They should never wonder what comes next. They should never feel left hanging. They should always feel held. That means fast responses when you can. It means automatic confirmations so they're not waiting. It means reminders so they don't panic. It means sending prep guidance before they even think to ask. It means anticipating needs before they voice them. Anticipation is one of the strongest forms of service. When you anticipate what someone needs, they feel taken care of. They feel supported. They feel like they're in good hands. Imagine someone books with you. Right away, they get a simple but warm welcome email. Then they get a prep guide that answers every common question. They know what to bring, what to expect, and what will happen next. They feel informed, they feel ready, they feel organized. Already the experience feels good, and they haven't even stepped foot in your studio yet. Then the session day arrives. They walk in and you meet them with warmth, not pressure. You help them settle in. You talk to them like a real person, not a rushed business owner who's worried about time. You read their energy. You adjust your pace. You explain what's happening, but you keep it simple. You jokingly say, "I've got you," when they start to panic about posing. You reassure them that their toddler is fine and that you've seen chaos before. You celebrate small moments. You make them feel normal. That's the magic. People don't need perfection. They need someone who sees them, someone who notices their nerves and helps them relax, someone who lets them be human. Your calm becomes their calm. Your presence becomes their anchor. Your confidence becomes their permission to breathe. When photographers ask me how to reduce client stress, I always say the same thing. Be the calmest person in the room. But don't fake it. Just slow down. Speak gently. Let silence happen. Give people a moment to breathe. When you slow your energy down, they slow down with you. And when they slow down, they enjoy the experience more. And when they enjoy it more, they come back. Here's another piece that matters more than people realize. Your studio environment. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to feel intentional. A clean space, a warm temperature, soft lighting, calming music, a place to put their bags, a spot for their kids to take a break. Your space should feel like a pause in their day, a moment of comfort in a busy world, a place where they don't feel judged, a place where they don't feel rushed, a place where they can let go. If you shoot on location, the environment still matters. Your presence becomes the atmosphere. Your clarity sets the tone. Your planning makes things smooth. But there's another element that takes client experience from good to memorable: your ability to pay attention, noticing things, seeing people, responding to what's happening in front of you, not what you rehearsed in your head. If a toddler needs 2 minutes, give them 2 minutes. If a mom looks overwhelmed, pause and check in. If a dad jokes nervously, meet him where he is. If a baby needs feeding, give space. If someone feels awkward, normalize it. Presence is powerful. Presence is rare. Presence is unforgettable. Most people go through their day feeling unseen. When you're the person who sees them, really sees them, you stand out. And here's the truth: people aren't loyal to businesses. People are loyal to people. They're loyal to how you make them feel. They're loyal to the way you listen. They're loyal to the way you guide them. Emotion builds loyalty. There's another piece that photographers often forget: aftercare. What happens after the session matters. The thank you message, the gallery delivery, the follow-up, the clarity around next steps. Your aftercare should feel as warm as your welcome. Don't let the energy drop just because the session is done. Keep that connection going, check in. Make sure they know what to expect. Deliver on your promises. Underpromise when you need to. Over-deliver when you can. Even the way you send the gallery link matters. A simple message saying, "I'm so excited for you to see these," can change everything. It shows care. It shows enthusiasm. It shows that you're still invested. People can tell when you see them as more than a transaction. They can tell when you care. Care builds trust. Trust builds loyalty. A loyal client doesn't need convincing. They don't need discount codes. They don't need long explanations. They already trust you. They already know you'll take care of them. They already know they'll have a good experience. That is the foundation of a sustainable photography business. Not constant marketing, not chasing new clients every month, building loyalty, building relationships. Your future success comes from the way you make people feel today. And here's something important: you do not have to do all of this perfectly. You don't need a flawless workflow. You don't need a Pinterest-worthy studio. You don't need to be calm every second of the day. You just need to care. You just need to try. You just need to be intentional. Your sincerity matters more than perfection. People can feel sincerity. They trust sincerity. You don't need to be the most artistic photographer. You don't need to be the most technical photographer. You don't need the most expensive gear or the biggest studio. You just need to be the photographer who makes people feel comfortable, seen, and supported. That is what builds lifetime loyalty, and that is what will carry your business into 2026 and beyond. When you think about the kind of photography business you want to build in the next year, I want you to imagine something bigger than bookings, bigger than packages, bigger than marketing strategies. I want you to imagine a business where your clients feel so deeply connected to you that they don't hesitate for a second when it's time for new photos. A business where people trust you. A business where people know you. A business where people talk about you without you asking. A business built on loyalty, not luck. That kind of business isn't built on tactics. It's built on experience. And that experience comes from the way you treat people at every step. I want to bring it all together here because sometimes the idea of client experience feels abstract. It sounds big. It sounds like something corporations talk about. But for photographers, it's simple. It's human. It's personal. And it's something you can create intentionally even if you're working alone. Client experience is built from 3 places: clarity, calm, and care. Clarity makes people feel safe. Calm makes people feel welcomed. Care makes people feel valued. When someone feels all 3, they stay with you. That's loyalty. So let's talk about how you build that going forward, not as a one-time project, but as a rhythm in your business. The first step is consistency. Not perfection, consistency. Doing the same things the same way every time, sending that welcome email, sending that prep guide, sending that reminder, greeting people with warmth, starting sessions with calm energy, ending them with gratitude. When clients know what to expect, they relax. And when they relax, they remember the experience positively. The second step is improving the small things, the tiny details, the friction points, the places where confusion or stress tends to creep in. Every business has friction points, yours included. Parking, wardrobe questions, session timing, toddler meltdowns, newborn feeding breaks, delivery timelines. These are normal. They aren't negative, but they are predictable. And if something is predictable, it can be planned for. Work through your friction points and ask, how can I make this easier? How can I give more clarity? How can I offer more calm? How can I add more care? When you smooth out even one friction point, the entire experience gets better. The third step is grounding your entire workflow in empathy, remembering that your clients are human. They have lives, they have stress, they have kids who don't always listen, they have partners who don't love photos. They have babies who don't follow nap schedules. They have insecurities they might never tell you. When you look at your workflow through empathy, everything gets softer. Your tone gets warmer. Your patience gets deeper. Your energy gets slower. Your expectation of perfection disappears. Your connection with clients strengthens. Empathy creates loyalty in a way no marketing strategy ever could. One of the most important things you can do in your client experience is normalize their concerns. Normalize nerves. Normalize awkwardness. Normalize chaos. Normalize shyness. Normalize imperfection. When clients feel like their human moments are allowed, they relax. They loosen up. Their kids loosen up. Their partner loosens up. The entire energy shifts. The more welcoming your energy is, the better your session becomes. And that brings me to something I wish more photographers understood. You don't need to try so hard. You don't need to force moments. You don't need to make everything perfect. You don't need to pretend everything is under control. You don't need to impress anyone. Just be present. Just be human. Just be calm. Just be warm. People connect to authenticity, not performance. And authenticity builds trust that lasts. What I love most about client experience is this. It works quietly. You won't always see the results right away, but you'll feel them over time. Clients will come back. Clients will talk about you. Clients will share your name. Clients will become friends. Clients will become supporters. Clients will become part of your story. That's the kind of business worth building. One rooted in connection. One built from real relationships. One that sustains you emotionally and financially. If you're planning your business for 2026, I want you to put client experience at the center. Make it the heart of your workflow. Make it the reason people remember you. Make it the thing that people talk about when they recommend you. Because here's the truth. In a world full of photographers with great cameras and beautiful presets, the thing that sets you apart is you. Your presence, your kindness, your clarity, your energy, your care. That's what people are loyal to. That's what people come back for. That's what makes someone say, she's our photographer, always. This is how you build a business that feels good. This is how you build a business that grows naturally. This is how you build lifetime loyalty. And if you want help creating that kind of business, one rooted in connection, confidence, and calm, I'd love for you to join us inside the Savvy Shutterbug community on School. It's where we talk honestly about client experience, workflow, and building a photography business that feels sustainable. You can also explore my full library of courses and digital resources anytime at savvyshutterbug.com. You don't have to build this alone. You can build it with support, clarity, and community. And you deserve that.